All right, what's going on, you guys? Welcome again to Dr. J ENG. Today, of course, I will be talking about Kylian Mbappe. However, there's a major issue in the Spanish football going on, as you can imagine. I'm going to talk about FC Barcelona and the corruption, allegedly corruption case of FC Barcelona, and the number two, the vice president of the referees in Spain, who apparently has been taking money from FC Barcelona over the last 20 years. Okay, 20 years is not peanuts, is a lot. It's so much time, right, receiving money from FC Barcelona, and allegedly to get some favors. Barcelona paid this money for getting favors from the referees. They didn't try to buy the referees. Directly, they tried to pay to the number two, to the vice president, who apparently had any kind of influence over the referees, their decisions, and all that. In order for FC Barcelona to get, like I said, favors or the right decisions for them, right? So right now, the Spanish football is completely over. I'm not gonna say it's dirty, but every single thing, every single time we hear something new, it's getting worse, right? So just because different newspapers in England, either England, Europe, UK, Italy, Germany, France, are echoing all this information, I gotta cover it, man. We cannot look the other way. We cannot overlook this stuff because it's major. It's big deal, right? It's big deal. If you think about it, Real Madrid have been complaining about a lot of weird decisions, weird referees decisions over the last 20 to 25 years. So at some point we knew something was going on. However, we couldn't prove it. Now is when we learn something actually was going on, and Barcelona was paying to the vice president of the committee, referee committee, whatever you want to call it, to the vice president to get favors. Okay, according to them, they didn't try to get any favor. They only they only paid for getting any kind of neutrality from the referees, which is not acceptable. If you pay, it's because you want to get any favor in return. If you pay, it's because you're expecting something from them, right? So, and no matter what, man, it's illegal. Even if you want to get any kind of neutrality or whatever you want to call it, it's illegal. Illegal. You cannot do that, right? So everything has blown out after the public attorney, whatever you want to call it, in Catalonia, in Barcelona, decided to file a complaint, or sue FC Barcelona for this such a crazy thing, right? Not only to FC Barcelona, but also to the former vice president of the referee committee. It's called Enriquez Negreira, and they decided to go all in against that after all this information popped up in the different newspapers in Spain, mainly from Esteban Urreiztieta in El Mundo and also El Español. There's a bunch of newspapers providing different information about it, and apparently they were caught offside just because they tried to write off from their taxes. FC Barcelona tried in the past to write off some expenses, and they tried to write off the bills from Enriquez Negreira. However, when the whatever is it called, the tax ministry, the tax department, asked them for Barcelona to provide all the bills and invoices and stuff, they couldn't send them, right? They couldn't send them. So that's why they were caught red hands, right? And then the investigation started off at that moment. So what can happen right now? Every single person I've been every single person I've been talking to about this, they all agree right now. The problem is in Madrid, I'm going to explain you really quick. In Spain, we cannot investigate, just sporting wise, we cannot investigate and punish to FC Barcelona because it's something that already happened, that has already happened, and is completely, past. So there's nothing we can do about it. However, in the ordinary justice system, what we can do, however, is try to punish FC Barcelona, investigate the situation, right? And then if they are found guilty, they can be either suspended, deduction points, or what else? Yeah, they can be relegated to the second division, or in the worst case scenario, they would have to turn in a different form of business. Right now is a membership club, but it can turn it in a kind of private company, right? Because there's no way for them to get away with it, right? There's no way for FC Barcelona to face off the probably millionaire fine, because it's impossible for them right now, considering they don't have any money, right? And they will try to find the funds, right, to go through this, but it's gonna be impossible because right now the major companies are not interested at all in any kind of deal with FC Barcelona. It's impossible. It's impossible because nobody really wants to be attached or linked to a club that apparently is being investigated by corruption, right? So that is very simple, and I don't think FC Barcelona will have the funds, will have the money to go through this, right? So in the worst case scenario, we might see how FC Barcelona disappear. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you all guys some not footage, but the news in Spain we are talking about. It's very important for you all guys. You really know what's going on here. This is about Mbappe, and of course I'm going to talk about it. But the most important for now, for example, this is a fragment, right? This is a paragraph with the complaint from the public attorney, where they explain FC Barcelona actually tried to pay to the vice president of the committee in the decision-taking process, right? So the referees, every time FC Barcelona was playing, they got some kind of favors or decisions that fall in their favor or things like that. That is basically what it says, right? So, quote here. So the referee performing in favor of FC Barcelona. Yeah, that would be the right translation for it. So the results and scores and competitions and every single national competition is involved in this situation, and for the public attorney, apparently that is for La Liga, the Copa del Rey, Supercopa, and all that stuff. So this is a fragment, like I said, this is a paragraph or the complaint, right? So that is number one. Number two is more stuff. For example, this is what I said. When everybody knew something was going on, it was when FC Barcelona tried to write off their taxes off their taxes, right? The invoices Negreira had sent for his services, right? His services, it was like trying to make favors to FC Barcelona. That is another one, but there's more. When they broke up, right? When FC Barcelona decided to discontinue the relationship with Enriquez Negreira, what happened was this person tried to threat to FC Barcelona with unveiling all the things that had happened over the past 20 years, right? I mean, actually, Enriquez Negreira said, if you guys do not or just stop cooperating with me, I'm going to tell every single thing. I'm going to let the world know what's going on here and all that stuff. So they were in a kind of weird situation, and finally they got caught. And there's more stuff, man. This is just endless. For example, the contract between the former FC Barcelona player Gerard Piqué and the president of the Spanish Federation, they made a deal for the Super Cup, the Spanish Super Cup, to be the match, or the different matches, to happen in Arabia, in Saudi Arabia, instead of Spain. And now the judges are requiring all the contracts signed and all that stuff, because apparently they were done with the purpose to favor FC Barcelona as well. So this is so dirty, this is so deep, this is so dark, and nobody really know how deep can this be. So it's really, really shocking what we learn about the referee stuff in FC Barcelona and all that. So, and there's more, man. I mean, payments and salaries and checks and things that happened, man, in the past, that now don't allow me to think all these competitions, the Spanish competitions, are really fair and transparent and clear. And no, man, not anymore. So let's see what happens. And I mean, this is all Real Madrid news. So let's see what happens, man. But this is really, really big. And of course, I cannot rule out for now FC Barcelona being relegated, being fined, being taking points away, whatever. But something has to happen, right? Because it's not fair at all. And so the suspect that we have, all those Madridistas have, that we've been competing in very, very dirty competitions, it's real, right? It's real. It's not a dream anymore. It's not a conspiracy theory anymore. It is the reality. Okay, so that is what is going on right now with Spanish football, and the major thing that it's everybody's talking about in Spain. So, well, once we've been talking about that, let's move on and let's talk about, of course, the most important for us, which is Kylian Mbappe, right? And the latest news about Kylian Mbappe is, as usual, man, is the same. Kylian Mbappe has been in close contact with Real Madrid people over the last months. I mean, it's not a conspiracy theory either. And Mario Cortegana unveiled yesterday, Real Madrid, Kylian Mbappe family has been in contact with Real Madrid. However, man, as you can see here, Real Madrid and Kylian Mbappe had discreet communications together. Since the World Cup, there has been movement. Of course, as you know, Kylian Mbappe regretted his decision to remain in PSG right after signing the renewal contract, because he knew what's going to happen. And what's going to happen was Al-Khelaifi was not able or was not willing to sign all the players Kylian Mbappe wanted him to sign. On top of that, he asked for Nasser Al-Khelaifi to get rid of Neymar, and he couldn't. He couldn't, or he didn't want, or whatever, but Neymar remained in PSG, and that came up with a major beef between the two players, right? And a very, very bad relationship and a very bad situation within the locker room of PSG. So it was a major mess, right? And they did exactly the opposite to what Kylian Mbappe asked him for. So right now the situation is not sustainable and it's unbearable. And of course, for Kylian Mbappe, the best way to go is to sign for Real Madrid. However, we've been talking about it, man. If Kylian Mbappe is not the person who pushes to Nasser Al-Khelaifi to sell him this summer, nothing is going to happen, because Real Madrid will not do any move for the player. Real Madrid are not interested in the player if he doesn't whatever he has to do to get out of PSG, right? We will not be anymore the team who will try to back up the player and try to convince Nasser Al-Khelaifi or even make the call to PSG. So we're not interested in that. And as far as I know, Florentino Perez is still really angry, still very mad at Kylian Mbappe for what he did last summer. And he will not forget, he will not forgive, right? He will not forgive easily, right? And I don't know, man. It's a very difficult situation, considering Kylian Mbappe is arguably one of the best players in the world, and Real Madrid cannot say no. But is the kind of guy who might betray you again for the third time in a row. So we should be aware of that. We should be very careful with it, and do not trust the words of Kylian Mbappe after the game against Bayern Munich, man. We should be careful when it comes to interpreting them, because you don't really know if he really wants to leave or he wants to get something from PSG utilizing the name of Real Madrid. So let's see what happens. There are people out there claiming Kylian Mbappe will play for Real Madrid, but I prefer to stay in a second row, right, in a kind of more shady space, and not to say anything. Okay, I'm not gonna say he's gonna come or he's not gonna come, because to me that'd be easier to say no. What I think is he will come, but man, in football you never know. So I will better be with my mouth shut down before to say anything. And as soon as I know something really solid, I will let you know and I will share it with you.